Okay, students, now the strength is 23, so we will wait for 2 more minutes. So let's others join. So let me start. Okay, we'll start. Good evening once again, everyone. So am I audible? Yes, am I
Yes, sir.
audible? Yes, thanks for confirming. Okay, so let me share the screen. Yes, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thanks. Okay. So we have in the previous class, we have seen what a CSS is, how we can apply the styles for particular, field or particular division tag, right? And similarly, what are the different properties? And if you want to apply the style for particular properties, how we can specify the name of that property, or how we can name the tag. So we have seen the previous class also how we can use the style sheets, we have seen the different types. I mean, internally we can apply the style sheets, and we can apply the styles inline on that line particularly, and we can apply the styles externally from the file, and we can specify the URL of the file using the link tag particularly we have seen, right? And moreover we have seen the aligning assigning styles using the tags or using the classes. Okay, we can have classes and using the IDs we have seen. Okay, so for our revision kind of thing, what we'll do is simply we will create a HTML table. Okay, we'll create a HTML table and we will apply the style. Okay, and we'll apply the style for a particular table. We'll apply the style. Okay, we'll see that how we can do that. Okay, let me move on to my. This is my basically this is my editor. Okay, you can have any editor with you guys. So what I'll do is I'll simply create a file. I've taken a file. Let me name this file as table dot c sorry dot html. What I'm going to do is I'm simply creating a table. Over the table, actually, okay, fine, no issue. In that table particularly, I am assigning the styles using CSS. Okay, so I'm using the structure. So the exclamation symbol over here. So we can have shortcut. Okay, fine. I will write some title for this. Applying applying styles for HTML. We can apply style for anything. So as in the future classes as well as we will see, so how we can apply the dynamic styles as well using JavaScript. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll create a table. So let me create a table. I will write some heading. So this is HTML table with CSS. Okay, this is some for the sake. Say I have created a table over here. So we'll create the table using the table tag. And what I'm doing is I'm adding the heading for this particular table. So this is a heading, or we can use the t head tag as well if we want. I mean, so that also can be used. So basically t head will be for assigning the heading for the table. So I will use t head table head. Okay, fine. So in the table head, I'll write something. Say student details something. So let me add some rows and columns over here in that table. Oh, this particularly I'm adding ph. Ph means table heading. This is a student. Say student name. Column is student name, and second column I'm adding over here is course. Let it be the course. Have several things. College I'm adding over here. Let it be, it's enough. We have totally, I mean, 3 columns. So let's see how it will looks. Run it. So open with live server. Fine. So actually we don't have background over here. See, this is the student details is the table heading. I mean, T head we have written using the tag. And these are the TH tag. Within the TH tag, this will be the student name, course and college. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll add some rows for this particular table. So over here, I will add a table row. Say some name using table data. Right, table data only will write some name. Something I will give Sita. Okay. Similarly, the table data in that particularly course, say DE in E and C. Okay, I have written, and college I will write PCE Harbour. Okay. Similarly, I will add one more row. Have n number of rows. Table row. I'll simply copy this and just put it over here. Okay, this is your Gita. Being CS. Okay, maybe yes, fine. Okay. Similarly, we can have one more row over here. Adding something. Okay, so this is the college name is GC Ramnagar. I will save this. I will run this over here. See how it is displaying, right? So what I want to do is I want to just it to display somewhat in. I want to apply the styles for this particular table. How I can apply? See how I'll use basically the internal style only. We can use any type of style. So in the internal styles, so we'll use style tag, right? Style tag. So in that we will specify for the particular table what we want to do. So say if I have I'm not assigned any ID for this, any ID or class for this particular table, I can use apply the style using the tag as well, no issue. So I'm using the tag table. Okay, thereafter I am assigning some uh, say some styles. Let it be the margin is 25 pixel. Okay, so that is the margin. Okay, see how it will look. So there is some, I mean there's some margin. Now what I'll do is, so I'll add some font size as well. Font size, let it be, I'll add font size. Font size is 0.9 em, 0.9 em. Something, I mean the font size is changed now. Now similarly I will add some other changes over here. You can have one more property called border collapse. The border collapse, I will assign the collapse property over here. See, I mean, there is in between the student details and there, so there we have assigned some gap over there. Okay, and similarly, we will assign the style for this as well. So now what I'll do is, we have table heading and table row, right? So that for that particular entries, we will add some styles for table heading tag, t head, and tr. So I'm applying the styles here. Here I'm assigning some background color. Maybe any background color we can assign. So we have over here, we can choose any color, or we can specify the color in RGB. Okay, so RGB format we can also specify the color. No issue. So I'm simply using some color. This one, something. Okay. So I'll change some other color. Let it be any color. Okay, fine. Similarly, this is the background color. I'll assign the color for particular row as well. The color is say any color, so that will be again looks good for this. So black. Actually, it is taken corn silk, so that will not be visible. Okay, black only. Then we can align the text. So I'll use the text align property. Text align, we can align the text center, left, right, something, right? So I'll use the align the left. I can assign the font weight to bold. Bold. It should look bold. Let's see how it looks now. Okay, so actually for this particular entire table, I mean the T head and so this style is applied. What I will do is I'll simply change something. I mean this is black, so this is not looking good. So for that reason, I may add some other color over here. Mm, so any color, okay, fine. And simply I'm adding for it for table heading. So let's see. The styles. Okay. And refresh first format the document once. Okay, actually this style is not applied over here. Why? Table head, we have table head tag T head. Okay. Okay. Okay, if I with together with use the table row. Okay, this is not applied here. What happened here? So the style is not rendered here. So let me check it out. Yes, table we have okay, everything is good. But why the styles are rendering? Let me run on this particular browser. Okay, these styles are not applied over here. Okay. I'm changing some other colors. I'll try to change the colors. So this style is not applied over here. So blur. Not applied. What happened? Okay. We have used the table and we have specified the margin. Okay, let me, what I'll do is I'll add some more styles. So let's check whether this will be available or not. So text align, I think text align is, yeah, text is aligned left only. So text is aligned left only. That is well rendered. So if I add over here, let me check right. No, this is not rendered. Okay. This individually is not applied. So why I'm simply applying for the table head. Run it or with this open with live server. No any effect. There is no background applied for the table head. Let me remove this once. I'll add one more times. Let's see why it is not taking the styles. So it should take the styles. I'll format the document once. Over here, I will close this once. Here as well, I will close this. Okay, fine. Okay. Align. I'm adding some align over here. And property align center. Okay, this much of styles is applied over here only. And if I add some more styles for this particular rows, let's see whether it will be available. Table heading. So I'm simply assigning the head. So for this, say I'm assigning text align. Text align is enter. We will save. That's done. So it is again, this is not centered. Okay, I will add some more thing here. So what we can color. So color I will add. Green. No, this is not applied. So why it is not applying? So what I'll do is simply I'll use a class. Let us check with the class. So actually it should apply. So why we'll check with the class? Class is, say I will use content content table. I'm specifying the table class. Here also I will specify the styles using that name only. So we know. So when we are using referring the class, we'll use dot symbol. Content table. Okay. Here similarly I am adding content table head. So I'll save. It's not rendered. Why it is not rendering? I'll close this once. Okay, I'll run it once again. Open with live server. No, not rendered. I'll format the document. Content table. Okay. So actually this, for this, we should not use align all. Content table name is the same. Okay. Content table, content table. Okay, it's not rendering. So, no. So I'll simply remove this style like this. Okay, no change at all. Okay, so that's, there is no styles now. So now I'll apply the styles. Okay, okay, just I'm trying to check these styles. No, so no style is rendered over here. So I'll just format the document. Okay, similarly, I will add some more. Just want to check whether the style is not applying for each and every tag. So color, I'll add the color. Say some color, bold color. So I'm assuming for heading. Actually, that is applied over here. For heading, it is applied. But for the table, no style is applied. Any mistakes in table? Let me check. Format. Okay. Okay. I'm adding the for the table rows only. Table rows. Yes, now it's applied. Okay, fine. Okay, so it is applied now. So forest green. So similarly, I'll assign some uh, tag for, I mean, the styles for this. Say the text font weight, whether it is bold or what. Font weight, font weight is say bold. Assigning the same for the table heading. So with the single styles applying, so I'm applying the styles for both table heading and for the table row. So it should, now it's available. Okay, fine. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll simply add, so this I don't want. Similarly, I will add some style for this particular content, that is table heading. Okay, how we can add? Simply we need to refer the headings that we will refer. over here, I'll assign the, say my table name, this is my class. So in that we have table heading ph, and we have table row. Okay, sorry, table data. Table data. So now I'm assigning why it is dot content table heading and content table heading. Okay, fine. So now, so I'm assigning the padding for this particular padding. Padding is how it should look. What is the width of this? Padding is 12 pixel and 15 pixel. See, the padding is now, we have increased the padding. I mean, there is a gap between the different cells, right? So we have provided the gaps between the cells. So now it looks somewhat good, right? And this is the text align is over here. The text align is center actually, so we can make it as to left. Left. If you want background color, we can assign the background color for this particular values. I mean, I'm applying the background color for each and every row. Background color. So we can use any background color. Let it be gray background color, dim gray. Yes, this is actually the background color, and the border is assigned over here. So actually, this is not looks good over here. So I'll change this background color. Use any. So simply, I'm specifying how we can apply the background colors. So this is the background color. So now see how it looks. Fine. So what I want is, I want there is I mean, for each and every alternate rows. Okay, alternate rows or even rows. I want some different heading, a different background color, so that it should look somewhat change. We can do that by using, we have a tag called, I mean, we have a property called nth of type. So using that we can do. So I'll specify over here. So over here I will specify. So what I'm going to do, see in this particular I mean renderings. So I want each and I mean there should be some change between odd and even rows. That I want to do. So this I can do by writing the property. So that property is called, so this one property. So we have I'm referring the table, content table. So in that table body, okay, in the table body we have a table row. So in that I want, okay, I want here nth of type. Here if I specify, here only if I specify. So here only I'll specify n of type. So here nth of type. In that nth of type, if I specify over here even. So in that nth of type, I will specify even. So what I'm going to do, so for even number of rows, I mean, that style will be somewhat different. So for this particularly, so I'll apply some more background, some other background color. Let it be some white. So here white I will apply. See, this is how we have differentiated, right? So here the even number of rows have different renderings, right? Different renderings. And if we want any add, similarly we can add. If you want to add number of rows, we can do so. So this is how we can apply the styles for a particular table. So the only thing is we need to check whether the styles is applying or not by checking each and every time. So when we apply the styles, right? So is it clear? So how we have you applied the styles? So this is some simple example. We can explore it more, and we will while reading the JavaScript as well, we will go through one concept called dynamic CSS. Okay, so dynamic CSS. So we have a concept that is dynamic CSS. Also, we will see. Okay, yes, we will see the dynamic CSS. Dynamic CSS means we can. So this is actually static CSS. So we have applied these styles previously. I mean, before rendering. I mean, before running it, right? So during the time of running it, so we can apply any styles at the runtime only. So that is called dynamic styles. So we can do so. Okay. So for the time being, keep in mind. So for applying the style sheets, we can apply the styles using the ID of I mean using the class of particular area. Okay, so we have used the class for particular table. So using that also we can apply, or simply we can use the tags. So that will be, I mean, if we have table row tag in a table, so that all rows will be reflected with that particular styles. Okay, so this is how we can do apply the styles. So now what I'm going to do is, so I'm interested in doing, so the what a JavaScript is, basically how we can use JavaScript. So later we will see the combination of JavaScript as well as the CSS. So yes, please, anyone, what is a JavaScript? What is a JavaScript? Yes. So we have seen, right? So earlier, I mean, in the beginning of the this program, so we are discussing the HTML. We have discussed already, and we have seen CSS, how we can apply the styles. And so this is the third one, that is JavaScript. So I already informed. So what is the use of this HTML for applying the structure, right? For using the structure, and for CSS, we'll use this to beautify the pages, beautify. And this for JavaScript, this is for behavior. Okay, behavior or presentation, we call this as behavior. We'll change the behavior. So I mean, if you want to do some programming stuff, some kind of programming stuff, we'll use JavaScript. We'll use JavaScript. Is it okay? So what is, we'll explore JavaScript and more. So how we can use the JavaScript, what are the different tags, or what are the different properties available in JavaScript, we will see. For the time being, just keep in mind what a JavaScript is. So why we need JavaScript. Okay. Students, is it okay? Anyone having any doubts, please? Yes?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, thanks, Aishwarya. Okay, fine. So similarly, what I'll do is I will discuss JavaScript, what a JavaScript is. So for this particular, I mean, file only, we can specify here JavaScript or any other file we have, index.html. Okay, we don't have any code over here. So I'll add the code in this particular file. Okay. Uh, JavaScript. JavaScript demonstration. So for applying the JavaScript, we can have a tag called script tag. So for applying the styles, right, we have used styles tag. Similarly, for using the JavaScript, we have a tag called script tag. So in that script tag, we'll write the JavaScript code. So I'll write here some heading. So this is a sample JavaScript code script running on. So here in the script tag, what I'll do is I'll simply, if you want to print something, right? If you want to print something, we can have a write method. I mean, we can have use this particular object document dot write. So here I'm writing something. Welcome to Java script. Welcome to JavaScript. So here I'm adding. So I'll save this. Let's run this. See here it is displayed. Welcome to JavaScript. It is displayed over here, right? So we can add some code here. I mean some programming stuff here. So what I'll do is, if you want to create a variables, basically comments. What are comments? Comments means what are comments? So anyone please, what is the meaning of comment? I'll write here comment. So comments in JavaScript. Yes, please. Anyone, could you please explain? Could you please unmute and tell what are comments? So it is part of any programming language. If you have, I think you being engineering students, you have gone through C programming language, right? In that you have gone through the comments as well. What is the meaning of comments? Yes, anyone, please.
Displaying the output.
Displaying the output. Any other answer? What is the meaning of comment? Yes, anyone, please. So basically, the meaning of comments is non-executable statements. Okay, for non-executable statement, we'll tell this as comment. For example, if we have written some code, okay, and we want that code not to run or not to execute, so we'll put that code in a form of comment. Comment means, so that is for only for the programmer's understanding, that will be there, but that will not be executed. For example, so when you have created a program for something, or you have created a web page for something, so you will specify who created the web page, when created the web page, date, and all those things. But those things will not will not be executed. That will be present only. That is only for the programmer's reference. Okay, that is only for the programmer's reference. That is only for the programmer's convenience. So that is called as comments. See over here, I have written this comment. This is called single line comment. We have two types of comment: single line comment and multiple line comment. This is single line comment. Single line comment. Single line comment means, if you want a single line to be made comment, so we can use this symbol, this double slash. Okay, so whatever we will return in that particular followed by the particular double slash, so that will not treated as executed. That will not be executed. That is there, but that is not to be executed. Okay, so it is somewhat only for the programmer's reference. Similarly, we have multiple line comments. So for multiple line comments, so see we have this. This is multiple. I'm returning over here multiple line comments in JavaScript. I'm making it close, so I'm closing the area. See, so this is the closing. Okay, see over here, So this is multiple line comment. Okay, single line comment and multiple line comment, both we have. So I'll save this. So there is some error it is showing over here. No issue, fine. So for example, if I make this, we have display something over here, right? So I'll run it once. Once again, I will run, right? It is running fine. So if you make this comment, I mean, welcome to JavaScript, I have written in document.write. So this is an output function. So over here, if I made this as comment, doubles in using the single line comment, it will not be executed. So now, see over here, it is not executed. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is what a comment means. Comment means it is only for the programmer's reference. If the programmer wants some of his code or some of its statements not to run, he may make that statements as comment. Okay, so this is single line comment and this is multiple line comment. We have both comments over here. So for example, if you want to create a variable in JavaScript, we have a keyword, var keyword. With the help of var keyword, we can create the variables. Where a is equal to something I'm assigning over here. Say 10, I have assigned, right? And similarly, the good part of JavaScript is loosely typed language. Loosely typed language. So can anyone please tell what is the meaning of loosely typed language? So I'll write you over here. So JavaScript is returning over here. JavaScript. So this is one of the feature. Even Python, your Python is also a loosely typed language. JavaScript is loosely typed language. What is the meaning of this? Please, anyone? Okay, I'll explain. So the meaning of loosely typed language is we need not to specify the data type for each and every variable. We need not to specify. Okay, specify the data type over here. Data type for the variables. So this is called loosely typed language. See over here, simply I have used here the var keyword followed by I have used the integer value assigned in a variable called a. Similarly, I can use the var keyword and use the some name. Okay, I'm using the string, assigning the string value over here. So over here I am writing something GCE Bargo. Okay, see. So now in the second variable called name, so I have assigned the string value. That means it is very flexible. As and when required, we can use as it is. That means, so whenever I want to use as it's a integer, so we can assign the integer value. Whenever I want to use as a string, we can assign the string value. Similarly, whenever I want to say some want to assign some other than values, some float values. Okay, some float values, salary, something like that. Okay, so I'll assign over here some values, right? So this value also we can assign over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print this all the things. Okay, I'll print over here document dot write. Okay, I'll close this. Fine. Document dot write. So here I'll write some something. Say a. Okay. So I'll say right here a is plus a. Okay. Similarly, we can have use this separator. So I'll use the separator over here. So here name, I will assign the name, that is the name variable I'm printing here, name. Okay. So plus means it is a separator. So we are separating it. So plus I have again added. So then here salary. So here the salary I'm printing. Salary, say the variable salary we have, right? I am saving it. So now I am running over here. Sorry, it is here. Fine, see over here. So welcome to JavaScript followed by the, this is the A value, right? And we have, this is the name, GC Bargur and salary. Okay, that's salary. So basically salary, it is something, so we can have some values over here, some different values. So for clarification, so I'm adding here something. Yes, see over here 12,000 something 0.01. So the float value is also displayed over here. So again, we can use, if we want, over here the escape sequences, that is /n for new line, and here also I'm using the escape sequence /n, and if you want over here also you can use the escape sequence /n. Okay, document dot write line. Okay, we can use using the method only the document dot write line as well over here. Document dot hash. Line. Write line. Okay, what happened here? Okay, so we can't use here right. We need to use only the right. So that means in a single in a single JavaScript code we have written both, we have specified the value for the variable a as an integer, and we have specified the string value for name, and we have specified the floating values as a salary. So that all are printed over here. That means, so this is the meaning of loosely typed language. Loosely typed language means, so we need not to specify the type of particular variable. For example, if we talk about C programming or any other Java programming, what we need to do? We need to specify the variable type, the data type of the variable, right? Integer or float or string or double or character or byte, something we need to specify. Even so, byte value also we can display over here. So simply where result or something, I'm simply specifying result is equal to, here I'm specifying true value. So that will also be displayed over here. So plus, sorry. So over here I'm printing /t. I'll check with /t whether it will be level. So this is result. Result is true. True. It should. So I'm printing the value result. So we need to use the separator plus result. See over here. The slash is available over here. Okay, fine. Result is true. So see, all the values, all are, all the types can be used in a without defining the data type of particular variable, right? So this is the advantage of JavaScript is, and if you want, we can print the output in one more alert box called alert. So alert, with the help of alert, we can also print over here. So this will be an alert box. So I am simply printing something. Welcome to GC Bargur. Welcome to GC Bargur. So I'm printing. Okay, fine. So I need to run it. I will format the document once. Okay, and now I'll run this open with live server. See, this is the alert. So we have used alert, right? So this is the alert box. So this site says welcome to GC Bargur. Okay, we can click. Okay, when I have clicked OK, so this much of this is displayed, right? Are you understanding? So how we can display the Using the rate also we can display, using the alert also we can display. Okay, and one more called, we have inner HTML also. We can use that inner HTML and console.log. So we have one more option called console. It is for displaying something on the console that will not disable on display on particular web page. I will use over here console.log. I am printing something. This will not display in the web page. In the web page I am printing. So let's see whether it will display or not. So I'm running it. See over here. Yes, so it is run. Fine. So actually what I have written in console, that is not visible over here. So this I have written, this will not display in the web page. So then where it will display? It will display in the console. How we can weave the console? We can weave over here, right click. So okay, I'm using this Internet Explorer. I'll use in Google Chrome. So here I'll specify. Okay, this is the alert box. Okay, now I'll click, right click over here. Here we have option inspect. I have clicked inspect. Over here we have options called console. See over here, here it is displayed. This will not display in the web page. Is it clear, students? Is it visible? So if you add, yes, if you add something, some more console statement, that will be displayed in the console. So these are the certain functions, inbuilt functions, which we can be used for displaying the particular text, for displaying the output, right? I'm simply now what I'm doing is I will use some styles, apply the styles, then I'll see whether it will be applicable or not there. So here, this is my heading, right? So I'll take a paragraph over here. Paragraph ID is equal to ID. Para, I'll assign the ID as para. So I'll close this tab. Okay, closed. Nothing is there. Okay. Later, I'll add the button over here. After that, I will add the button. So we can add the button here as well. So I will add the button. You can add the button using input tag, as well as we have a tag called button only. Okay, I'll use the button only. Input type is equal to button. So we have discussed input tag when we are discussing with the forms, right? So here input type is button. So whenever it clicked, okay. Okay, so I'm calling the event handler. Event means there is one word, event. What is an event? What is an event? Yes, anyone please? What is an event or event handling? Event handling. Event means if we have changed some property, so that event will be triggered. For example, we have a button, right? We have a button. So something written on that button, I mean some label on that particular button. So whenever we will click this button, so click event will be triggered. Okay, click event will be triggered, right? So this is an event. Similarly, we have different keys. Okay, if we talk about keyboard keys, we have a key press event, key press event, right? And key up event. Okay, key up event. Similarly, mouse click and mouse hover. Mouse hover means when we take the cursor on this particular item, so that is called as hover. See, this is the hover. So mouse hover also we have, right? So this is mouse hover. So these are all the different button, I mean event handlings. Are you getting what I'm telling is? So why we need event means, so whenever something is changed, so some action should needs to be taken. Okay, for that reason, we'll use the events. Okay, whenever this button is clicked, so something should happen. Whenever the mouse is hover on that particular text, something should happen. Whenever keyboard, I mean, whenever F4 key is pressed, whenever F4 key is pressed, so then something should happen. Whenever we have over here shutdown key, right, in our start menu, when we click that, so the system will turn off. So these are all the events. Okay, so for specifying the events, we will have, I mean, we can specify the events in that particular field. So here in the button, I want to specify the event. So I will specify here on click. Okay, on click. So whenever that button is clicked, okay, whenever that button is clicked, something should happen. So what we can do whenever that button is clicked, so we need to do something. See, what I'll do is I'll access this paragraph. I want to access this paragraph. I want to use this paragraph whose ID is para. So I will access this. Okay, I will access this. I'll access over here using this document dot get element by id. We have a inbuilt method called get element by id. Okay, get element by id is the inbuilt method. So here I'll specify the id here, id for which I'm accessing the element. So this element I'm accessing para, whose id is para, so that I'm accessing para. Okay, then what I want to display there, so I want to display something over there. In we have a property called inner html. So this property, when the output will come, so you will understand the effect of this. So I am displaying something here. So here I'll print something. This will be printed. This will be printed in the paragraph whose ID is para. Okay, whose ID is para. So now, so here we have opened. Okay, so this is our opening. So here we have opened. So we need to close this. Okay. So I'll close this button. So closing. And I'll say this. Let me format the document once. Okay, I have formatted the document. Button on click. Okay, so we don't need to specify the spaces over here. Okay. Let's run it now. I'll run this. So there is some error. It is showing on click. Document. Okay, document dot get element by id. Then inner HTML. Actually here, so we need to use the single quote, not the double quote. Single quote. Fine. So no error now. Okay. So this will be printed here. So I have closed this. So I need to close once more. And again, this should be in single quote. Single quote I'll specify here. Single quote. Okay, this one closed. This one closed. Save this. Let me run it once. So here I will run. Okay, this is my index.html file. Actually, that button is not visible over here. So here it is button, right? So I have not given any label for this particular button. I will specify the label. we can specify the label using a property we know. What is that property? Value. Value. Value is equal to, I'll specify here something. Click me. Click me. I have specified the property. Okay. Now I will run this once again. Let's see. So this is run. Yes, click me. I'll click this. Fine. There is some problem over here, so this will not display in the web page. Okay. Invalid or unexpected token in line number 29. There is some mistake we have done over here. Line number 29. So this is the line number 21, 29. Okay, on click inner HTML. And moving will be printed in the paragraph. Okay. Check. Okay. See, I'll click this button now. Fine. Perfect. Perfect. See over here. So whenever I have clicked this button, so this paragraph in the we have created already a paragraph, but we have not added any text in that particular paragraph. So when I'm clicking that paragraph, so that is displayed over here. This will be printed in the paragraph. Is it clear, students? How we are using the events, how whenever the button is clicked, particular event will be triggered, and we are accessing the paragraph over here in the paragraph, so that paragraph is visible over here. So this is only for this particular paragraph whose id is para. If I add some more paragraph here, see, I'll add one more paragraph over here. So I will not specify any id for this. This will not be affected. I am printing something over here. So I'll save this. Okay. So now, so this will not be affected. This paragraph will not be affected. Okay. So only the thing is, whenever I click the button, so this paragraph will affect, and this will be displayed in this particular paragraph whose ID is para. I am running it, so it is run actually. So okay, fine. See, this will not be affected. So I'll click this. I'll click this. So when I click this button, so that we have assigned some string. We have added some string to be displayed on this paragraph. So I'll click this. See that again, that earlier added paragraph is there here only, right? So when I have clicked, so that is visible, right? Is it clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes. This is how we can access the elements. So now what I want to do is, say I want to add two numbers. Okay, I want to add two numbers. Okay, so then how we can add the two numbers? Any idea? So what I need to do is, assume that I need to add two. Say I'll add two text boxes. So say one text box will be over here. So it should come like this. It should come like this. Enter first number. Enter first number. Enter first number. Okay. So then there should be a text box should be available. Okay. Then we should have option for entering the second number. Enter second number. Then there will be a text box. Okay. And there should be a button. So we should have a button. So say the button label is add. Whenever this button is clicked, okay, so the sum of this should be displayed on a alert box. Say If we have given some 20 and we have given some 10, I mean 10 and 20. So when we will click this button add, so that should display in a alert box. How can we do that? Do this? Yes. What are the steps? How we can do this? Yes, please. Anyone can unmute and speak. So again, programming is a feeling that can be felt only when you do that programming, right? So be in active. So be active during the class hours. And so what we are discussing, if you have find any difficulties, any problem, please let me know. We will discuss those things as well. Okay. Okay, students, how we can do this? Simply we have seen over here in this particular example. So when we have a button, I will refresh this, right? So we have a button, okay, click me button. So when I are clicking, so some paragraph is displaying over here, right? So the same way we can do. How we can do this? Yes, anyone please? What I'll do is I'll create a file, say add js.html. The file name is okay. Here I'll create the okay. This is my default structure. Okay, adding two values. I'm adding the title, adding two values. Then here adding a text box. Input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to text, or we can use number over here as well. So input type is number, and say name of this particular number is name is what? So I'll specify here n1. Okay, I'll close this input tag. Similarly, I'll use one more number. Same I will add here. See, this is n2. Two numbers we are taking, and here I'm adding the label. Enter the first number. Enter the first number. Here adding the label. Enter the second number. So we can add if want the breaks. I'm adding the breaks. So line breaks. Now I'm adding the submit button or some button over here. Input type is equal to button value is what I'm assigning here add. Fine. So I will it is simply it is a static, I mean, so there is no programming over here. So only we have created a structure containing of two text box. So in this two text box we can enter two numbers, right? Isn't it? So we can see this, I'll run this once. So open with live server. Fine. So that's it. So it is running. So if you click add, so nothing will happen. So what I need to do, please, anyone having any ideas what I need to do? Yes.
Create an on link.
Sorry. Yes, please create an
On link tag.
yes. On click. Fine. Thanks. So on click event I am using here. On click. Okay. On click, on double click. So we have several options. On click I have used here. Okay. Then so we can have then what we can do over here. So if you want, we can say alert. In that alert, we can access this. Okay, document dot get element by ID. So the first element ID is actually I need to specify here ID. So by name also we can access. So I'm accessing with ID only. This is ID N1 and this is ID N2. Right. So by ID here here. Okay. So this is by N1. Okay, N1, and I'm adding this plus document document dot get element by id. So here it is n2. N2. So the alert we have closed. So there is something. Okay, so this should be closed n2. Okay, I'm saving this. So let's check whether it will be working or not. Fine. So I'm running it. So we have over here. So this is one other page running. Okay, fine. This is running it. Some values I'm giving here 10, 20. Add. So it is here printing something, right? It is printing something, but not exactly the result, right? So not exactly the result is printed over here. So we can do so by defining the methods or by defining the function as well, or simply document dot get element by id. So we need to use here dot value also dot value. So for getting the value dot value, and here also dot value. So now it should work. And I'll run this. So this one is here. So this is the new one. I'll update 10, 20. Perfect. See here, it is working. That means it is treating as a string. That means it is appending 10 appended with 20. So 10, 20 will be available. Only the thing is it is treating the input as a string. So that's why it is giving the output something like that. 10, 20, right? So what we need to do, we need to convert it to a integer. So what we have done here, so we have seen here, we have given 10 and we have given 20. So the output is printed like this 10, 20. It is appended. Okay, it is appended over here. Why it is appended? The input, whatever the input we have given, is treated as a string. The input is treated as a string. So even though we have entered number here, okay, that is treated as a string over here, right? So what we need to do, we need to convert the input. We need to convert, okay, convert the input to integer or to number. We need to convert the input to integer, then only the output will be, then the output will be satisfiable. Okay, so how we can do, see over here, if you want, uh, see if we add over here some other thing. So text also something, I'll add something, so that also it will takes and it will just concatenate and gives the output. Welcome GCE Bargur. So now output will be what? Welcome GCE Bargur, the output will be available. So it is treated as a string. Actually, now the value is not taking here. So why it is not taking? So since it's we have specified a number for this particular field, we have specified a number here. Here we have specified a number. For that reason, it is not taking. So if we specify here a text, also here, if we specify the text, then it will be welcome GCE Bargur. So I'll add. See, now it is printed, right? So only the thing is it is appending. Now what we need to do, we need to convert it to as integer. How we can convert? Here we can convert using, we have a method called integer.parseInt. Okay, we have a method integer.parseInt. Using that method we can do so. So which method? Integer.parseInt. Integer.parseInt. Using this method we can do so. So I will use that method and I'll specify here. Here I'll specify. So integer We can use simply parse int as well. Let me see it. Parse int. So I'm converting that value to integer first. The first value is converted, and later the second value also needs to convert. Parse int. So this here we need to close this part value. Here we have closed. Fine. So let me check it out now. Run it. It's fine. So I'm assigning, I'm giving the value something 10, 20. So I'm adding. Perfect, right? So now see the output came. 10 plus 20 is 30. So if we give any value over here, so it will be added. So 100. So some any other value, 209. Okay. So that is now displaying. Is it okay, students? Are
Yes,
you?
sir.
Yes, so this is the use of basically JavaScript, and in future classes as well, we will see how the JavaScript can be used for applying the dynamic styles. Okay, for the today's class, it's the time is over. So if you have any doubts regarding this JavaScript or some other than that, so please ask me. Anyone having any doubts? Yes, yes, students. Okay, we have 37 means 36 students right now. 36 means 11 students are absent. Okay, fine, perfect. Okay, students, if you have any doubts, and I hope you are accessing the content from the LMS portal. You can visit the LMS portal and access the content and make sure that you are working on it, right? So because as I told earlier, so programming is what? Programming is a feeling. It's a feeling. It can be felt only when you do it. Okay, it is not like that someone other will do it, so and you will feel it. We have done it, right? So you will feel it good only when you do it. So try to do practically practice. Okay, only by practicing you will get the things. Okay, thanks for joining in. And we all know, so only the thing is you need to turn on your cameras. So we'll take a snapshot and we'll wind up this session. Okay, students, please share your, turn on your cameras. Yes, thanks, Vidyashri. Thank you. And many others still have not turned on. Yes, thank you. Ashwini, fine. Thank you all. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, students, thank you. You can now leave the meeting. Thanks for joining in.